Hi, I'm Andy Amrine. I'm your host of the Around Town show on Bethel Park TV cable. So thank you again for tuning in to one of our shows. Today we are spending some time at the Bethel Park Public Library, one of my favorite places in Bethel Park. I feel that our community itself is built around our public library. We would have nothing here in Bethel without the availability of our library staff, and the assets and resources that are available to our community through the Bethel Park Public Library. So let's take a little bit of a tour. Let's meet some of the amazing staff here, and let me show you just what Bethel Park Public Library is all about. Stay tuned. We're here with Christine McIntosh, the Executive Director of Bethel Park's Library. Hello, Christine.
Hello, Andy. How are you?
Wonderful. Okay, we have such an amazing library here in Bethel Park. I don't even know where to start with everything Bethel Park Library has. So why don't you just give us a little bit of a history first. How old is Bethel Park's library?
We are celebrating our 62nd anniversary in October. The library started in 1955, officially. But prior to that, there was neighborhood people that would deliver books out of the trunk of their car.
And with the library, 62 years
yeah.
now with it. I'm sure there's been a lot of changes over the years with the library, not just in size, but the physical building and so forth. But, we're from past to present, just some of the highlights of the changes in the library over 62 years.
Wow, that could be a whole hour.
I know.
It used to be a very quiet place.
Two little blackbirds sitting on a cloud. One named Soft, the other named Loud.
When it initially started, it was mostly children's materials. It has evolved into a full-service library. We used to have the card catalog, which now is at the Historical Society,
Right.
part of the card catalog. Now everything, we don't do cards anymore, so you have to look everything up online. So technology has changed the library quite a bit.
With the technology changing so much in the world, Bethel's library actually has kept up with all that technology changes.
We have. We try to stay on the edge. So we have, like for the kids now, we have these things called launch pads that look like a phone screen would. So there's certain apps related to a theme, like letters or colors or dinosaurs or trucks, and the kids can. There's 10 or 11 apps on these that they can play that are educationally sound. They've only been out now for 2 years, so we were one of the first in the county to have them. We have a 3D printer that people can come in and either, right now people are making more like tchotchkes, things for their backpacks or something that their grandkid or kid wants. But we do have people come in that are making replacement parts for a shower head, a wheel, those kind of things. So we do have a lot of like our books. We still have print books, but we're the fourth largest consumer of ebooks in Allegheny County here in Bethel Park.
Fourth largest.
Fourth largest.
Okay, are ebooks still growing in popularity for you?
For us, yes. Nationwide, no. The sale of ebooks dropped 3% this year and 16.5% over last year. But our numbers are still growing, so people in Bethel are certainly utilizing the service.
Okay, but the library still has, as you can see
We have-
behind us and so forth, we still have your traditional books, though.
We do. We have 90,000 volumes currently in the library, and they're still very popular. I personally prefer print, but a lot of people like ebooks. I like it to travel. I can have 4 or 5 books on one device instead of carrying a stack of books,
Yeah.
which I used to do, so it is nice.
Is it books and book reading still, whether ebooks or regular, still the number one customer need of the library?
I think yes. However, meeting space is a big need. We do a lot of classes and programs too, and we simply don't have enough space to do everything that we want to do. So we're trying to reallocate some of our space to create more program and class space.
So the library is more than just a place to check out a book, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with what you're saying, the meetings, what kind of groups and organizations are you servicing?
Anybody. we just don't allow groups to have us as their regular meeting space. So like the Women's Club couldn't meet here every month, but we do have unpaid tutors that come in, like from Greater Pittsburgh Literacy Council to tutor people.
Kathy, tell us why you like the library.
Oh, I like it for a lot of reasons. One, as you can see, I'm working with him tutoring. It's a free meeting place for working with students, but it has such wonderful resources. And if your computer's down, it's got computers. You can print things off. A few times my computer's been out of whack. It's a real friendly staff, too. Or a wonderful place to come and relax, just read the magazines instead of buying subscriptions. We've got so many magazines here to pick from.
Do you come here often?
I'm here about 4 days a week.
Are you?
Yeah,
Nice.
I like it.
Well,
It's a home away from home.
Any group can come and meet here as long as we're not your regular meeting space. Or if you just want to sit down and, well, you have an accountant, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you want to get your receipts together or pay your bills, we have study rooms, quiet rooms, if you need to have some quiet space, because the library is not quiet anymore.
Okay.
We're very active.
With going back to the electronics and so forth, you still have lots of computers for people
We
to come in
do.
and use?
We have 29 computers available.
Are
We
they
also
updated? And
They are. We just got all new computers in May, so they're fast. They have great sound. You know, we do have headphones available. If you don't bring your own, you can borrow headphones from us while you're here. And they have really fast upload download speeds. And they have the latest, Adobe Flash. So you can play all the games if you want. We have 2 laptops that are available for checkout, among other things. Like we have a Roku streaming stick that you could borrow. So it's similar to Netflix where you would stream movies. What else do we have? Oh, the GoPro camera. If you're doing something adventurous and you want to put the GoPro, we have the chest harness so you can put on your chest. We have it for the helmet. You can borrow that. We have guitars that we lend out, and that actually came from your suggestion that when you talk to the high school music department, that they said that one of the things that they get asked for the most is guitars, and they don't have them. So we have 5 guitars that you can borrow for 3 weeks at a time, and they're
use
yeah. Right now, I checked this morning. There's one
out of the 5.
out of the 5. There's one
Marvelous.
here.
What is the library staff here?
We currently have 31 staff
31.
members. 9 are full-time, the rest are part-time. And we have 5 departments. We have administration, which is me and our administrative assistant. We're the smallest. We have technical services, so those are the people that take books that we get from our vendor and get them shelf ready for you. So they catalog them, they process them, they put the stickers on, they put the covers on them, get them ready. We have circulation department, which is the checkout desk. So they handle all of your calls. They help you with requests. They renew your library card. They check things out for you if there's a problem. They're the ones that usually handle the collection-related issues or patron behavior too sometimes. Youth Services, which does all of our programming and classes for birth through teenagers. And we have our reference department that has changed tremendously. It used to be people would come up and ask you questions like how many divots are on a golf ball. And now it's, my kid bought me this Kindle and I don't know what to do with it. We handle a lot of technology questions, and we do have one-on-one technology appointments. So yes, 31 staff members here currently.
Moving upstairs here into the library on our tour and our meeting of all the personnels, let's talk to our next staff member. You are?
Hi, I'm Jimmy Huttenhauer. I am the head of technical services here at Bethel Park Library. I've actually been here 14 and a half years.
Wow. That's a really good title, though. I mean, that's a good
Yes.
title. With that title.
It sounds fancier than it is.
Okay. Well, tell us what you do.
I basically do all the cataloging here at the library, all the items that come into the library I put into the system. I'm also the government documents librarian.
Okay.
Bethel Park is a government documents depository library.
Okay, what's that mean?
That means that in the past, before we had all the computers and virtual, all the paper documents from the government needs to be housed somewhere. So Bethel Park was one of the libraries that was chosen to do that. So we're still a government depository. Most of it's virtual now, so most of it's online.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else do you do then besides the...
Well, I'm a county mentor. I'm a county mentor to other libraries and other librarians that when they have questions, they'll call me up and ask for guidance and suggestions on how to circulate items or catalog items, things like that.
Okay. How big is the database for the library?
Well, the
that's-
database
you
is
gotta-
huge, over 1.5 million records or something. Yeah, it's huge and growing every day, of course.
So that keeps you pretty busy on it.
Very busy, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Other than that, what consumer reports? What else?
Oh, yeah,
What
so-
else do you do here?
So we have
with the library.
we're involved with all the databases. We have tons of databases. We have consumer reports. We have Chilton. What's great about those is like the Chilton, the auto repair books. Now we have them on the shelf. So if you want to
Okay.
take the paper copy, great. But if you don't, you can go to BethelParkLibrary.org, go to electronic resources, do the database search, click on Chilton, and you can actually download it to your iPhone or your smartphone and actually be repairing your car with your phone in your hand. So it's really amazing now, the things we have to offer.
Is there anything else like that?
Oh,
Any
absolutely.
other?
There's all the databases. There's a language database called Mango. There's a great database called Freegal that we use. What Freegal is if you have any old record albums at home and you want to keep them, I still have a collection of old, vinyl records. What you can do is you can go to Freegal, and a lot of those are on there, and you can download them to MP3 and have them on your smartphone now.
Okay. What are some of the things that maybe people won't be thinking of that you have in your database?
Man, there's tons of things here. I just have this list.
Okay.
There's live music called Quello. It's an online concert database. There's a universal class that we have to, if you want to learn how to knit, you can actually go online and learn how to knit and do universal class. There's ebooks. There's magazine databases. Language databases like Mango, on and on. I encourage everybody to check it out.
Okay.
Hi, want to introduce yourself?
I'm Rachel Theroff. I am the Adult Service Department head at the library, here at the library.
Oh, that title, it's a great title. What all does that include? What do you do?
I'm the one of the reference librarians. Okay. I order the materials for the adult. I'm one of the people that orders the materials for the adult, the books, the DVDs, music.
Mm-hmm.
I maintain the website.
Okay.
So
And how long have you been at Bethel Parks Library?
I've been here 20 years.
Okay. Have you seen changes in that 20 years?
Oh, yes. Yes.
In what aspect of the changes?
Well, obviously the technology.
Okay.
But back when I started, it was all card catalog. We didn't have computers, and
Okay.
within the first year or two, we had like 2 or 3,
Mhm.
and now you can see we have I think
29
29
computers, yeah.
computers and Wi-Fi. So that's another big use.
Mhm.
We have wireless printing. That's new-ish. It's in the
Okay.
last year or two. So.
Well, how is, in the reference department, how has that changed your job and what you do on a daily basis?
Less people coming in for help with research because so many people are doing research on their own now.
Right.
But still with research, a lot with technology, helping people learn technology. We don't fix computers. We're not in IT,
Right.
but we can help people get started with basics on, we have classes, computer classes. We have one-on-one appointments where mostly it's bringing in your e-readers
Okay.
or tablets and using the Overdrive, which is our e-books. Though they just changed their app, and now it's called Libby, and they've made it so much more user-friendly.
Okay.
That's just in the last 2 weeks. So if you're reading the ebooks, download the Libby app.
So over the 20 years, you had to learn all this too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was
And
that a hard prospect for you? Have you embraced
sure.
the technology
Oh,
and enjoyed
sure.
it?
Yeah, it's changed everything. It's made some things, just with everyone, so much easier.
Moving on around the library, one of our other great staff members here at the Bethel Park Public Library. How about introducing yourself and tell us what you do? What's your title?
My name is Carla McGee, and I am the older adult outreach librarian. I provide services to all the older adults in Bethel.
Okay, how do you do that?
Well, one of our main things is we do a homebound delivery program.
Nice, very nice.
We go to high rises, we go to nursing homes, anywhere from like a St. Thomas More apartment building to Paramount to maybe people in Manor Care that might not be able to get to the library. We deliver to them once a month. We
Okay.
can take large print books, books on CD, magazines, movies, anything they might need. And I also visit with them. So
Okay.
when I'm taking the books. So it's a nice.
So you set up a specific day and
Yep.
time that you're coming, and then the residents come down and meet with you?
I go
or do
to
you
actually
go
to their apartments,
to their rooms?
right to their rooms, because I take them a bag of books
Do they
once a month.
Do they pre-order books with
They
you? or-
can either let me know what titles they want, or we can choose them for them if they're not sure what. They'll give me maybe a topic they're interested in, or if they like fiction or nonfiction. And
Do you do a
we go from there.
homebound service too?
Homebound,
or-
we can go directly to a home, someone's home, if they're aging in place, staying in their home, which is always a goal.
How about some other program highlights that you're involved with here?
We have a lot of programs for seniors. We do a 10-week spring and a 10-week fall Wise Walk program, where we meet at South Park and walk on Tuesday mornings for about an hour. And we always provide some little tidbit of wisdom, health information, staying young, staying strong kind of information while we're walking. And it's a great way for older adults in Bethel to meet new people, or just to get out and get some fresh air. We have a conversation salon that meets the first and third Friday of every month right here in the fireplace room.
Okay.
It's very casual, 10 to noon, and people just kind of gather and talk about what's going on in the community and the world. Things that they feel like sharing. It's a great laid back way for people to talk. Another new thing that we have going on, maybe about the past 6 months, is the fourth Wednesday of the month, we have what's called Memory Cafe. We have a memory care specialist that meets right here in the fireplace room. Anybody that is a caregiver or living with someone that is starting with Alzheimer and dementia can come in. It is coffee and donuts, and talk to a memory care expert who will help you navigate some of the things that are new in your life. So it's very nice that we have that support here.
And how do they get in contact with you?
They
Somebody
can
who's
call
homebound?
directly to the library, and they will put them through to my voicemail, and I'll get in touch with them and set up, ask them a few questions about their interests and things like that, and we'll get it set up.
Okay, so all they need is a library card.
A library card. And
Yeah.
if they don't have a library card, we'll get them
We'll
a
take care of
library
that,
card.
too.
Yeah, because some
That's-
people move into Bethel because we are building a lot of senior housing in Bethel right
Right.
now. They might not have been residents, and that's okay. We can, a few easy steps and
Yeah.
get it fixed and taken care of,
all
and they
the-
can join.
All the new senior living facilities being built. You're
Yes.
probably pretty busy.
I am busy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
we've
that's a good thing,
definitely
though.
we're definitely putting a lot of focus on seniors in Bethel, and that's a good thing.
And we're here with Elaine Volpe, and you are, which is your title here at the library?
I am the department head of the Youth Services Department.
Okay, and that's a pretty large department here at this library, though, isn't it?
We are blessed to have a large department. Not every library is as lucky as we are. We have 9 people on staff, mostly part-time. There are 3 of us who are full-time. But yes, we have a large staff, and that's because we are one of the larger libraries in Allegheny County. So that allows us to be able to do more and to offer more programming and to get into the community more, which is one of our favorite aspects of our job.
Well, youth services here, what is your age range when you're doing youth
we
services?
service babies all the way up to teens, so 0 to 18-year-olds. We have story times for the very young, newborn to 2 years old, and we do tween and teen programming, so that includes our 5th graders all the way up to our high schoolers.
Probably keeps you pretty busy, though, isn't it?
Yes, but we all love it.
Okay. With the age difference, is there, from, new babies all the way up through teens, is there one age group that seems to monopolize most of your time, or is it a pretty even mix?
It's a pretty even mix, and that's because I, prefer to do it that way. I don't want to give up my baby jam and singing to my babies every Thursday morning, but I don't want to leave my teens either. So I try to make sure that I do a couple teen programs a year as well. And then when we're out in the schools, we see, K through 4 on a regular basis.
Okay,
And then we
so-
see those tweenagers as well.
So being out in the schools, is there a part of this that is an outreach program that Bethel Park Library has?
Absolutely. We are very blessed, again, to have such a strong relationship with our district librarians. We worked hard to establish that years ago, and we've been able to maintain that. So, like I said, we are in the elementary schools on a monthly basis. sometimes twice a month. And then we hit those middle schools as well throughout the school year, because I think it's really important to bring them book talks and let them know, what's going on at the library so that they can come in and visit us. But even more importantly, at that middle school and high school level, when they're not coming in as much, to let them know all the resources that are available via our website.
So having Bethel Park Public Library itself, it is a larger resource than just the individual libraries at the individual schools.
Absolutely, and I don't know that all of our patrons, actually realize that. Okay. But it's much larger than that, and our community partnerships are extremely helpful. We now have a partnership with WQED. We are a ready-to-learn library.
What is our partnership with QED?
So we are a ready-to-learn library, which is great. We have a lot of PBS resources that are given to us. We do some PBS programming throughout the year, and in turn we get some funding through ready-to-learn grants. So we are fortunate to be able to offer a little bit more. They've been instrumental in helping our pop-up library grow. Pop-up libraries where we take library books on the road and we just pop up at different community events, and again get those resources into people's hands, let them know about the library and what we can offer, and then always give away a free book. So they've been instrumental in helping us get some of the supplies to start that and to actually go more and increase our visits in the community.
So is that help make the library and the youth service department and so forth a little more knowable throughout the community?
I think we've actually, definitely hit, a different target. People who didn't visit us on a regular basis or even know about us at all, which is always so sad to me. We've reached those people, and maybe not everybody, but even when you bring 3 or 4 new families in the door, it makes it all worthwhile. And hopefully they tell somebody and they tell somebody, and so on and so forth.
If you come across a teen for the first time or a middle school child, and they're going to say, well, I don't need the library. How do you respond to something
contraire.
like that?
Everybody needs the library, right?
Why do they need the library?
My boys are teenagers too, and they hate to come to the library. They say, we don't need the library. I think they're going to realize, especially when they hit those upper grades, that you can't find everything online, that you can't, rely on Wikipedia for those research papers, that you need the resources. And if you don't want to come into the library and actually check out a book, you need our databases, you need our online resources. I think everybody eventually realizes that sometime during their middle school or high school career. And not to mention, we want to get them in because maybe you think you don't like to read, but we will find a book that you will enjoy. We'll find that right genre for you, or that right series, or hook you on an author so that you do enjoy reading again.
Well, how about the youth, the elementary and pre-school kids and everything come in here? What are they spending most of their time with? Every
day we're hopping with the little ones. You'll see some, while we're filming, some are here today. Even though our programming has stopped, they still enjoy coming and visiting our play space. So we are constantly, in touch with that early childhood, the 0 to 5-year-olds, and then during the summer, we see all of the elementary kids as well. This place has been hopping all summer long, and it's been incredibly fun to be a part of, and we're excited. Now, once September starts and the kids are back to school, it might dwindle down a little bit with our K through 4 crowd, but we do still see them on a regular basis. We offer programming year-round, not just during the summer months, to make sure that they are still coming in, and play enhances learning.
What is one of your most enjoyable days at the library? What do you like most?
I don't know if I could pick just one. My office is great because I have a great view of the family place. So probably my favorite part of my job is just overhearing conversations. Mm-hmm. There's this dad and his little girl that come in, a couple times a week and play with the puppets. And I love, hearing him take on the different parts and just interacting with his child. That's huge. This play space is for families, not just kids. We want the parents on the floor interacting with the kids because that's such a big part of it as well. So my favorite part, I would have to say, is overhearing conversations that are happening here in the family place area.
It sounds like this is as much a family for you as it is staff members.
100%. We are a family here at the library, and I like to think of our patrons as a family too. It's so neat to get to know the community members and to see them come in. I just saw somebody that I couldn't believe was starting high school, right? Because I remember them from story time. You always have that connection, and it's great when you run into them different places in the community. It's great when they come in here and you can kind of play catch up and share stories, and it's just I like to think of Bethel Park as one big happy family.
Hi, I'm Joanne Stinson.
Okay, and you're resident of Bethel, or you were and you've moved away? What's the story?
I'm a resident of Houston, Texas, but I was a resident of Bethel Park. Okay. And I started coming to this library when my kids were in book babies.
Okay.
And we came all the time, did all the summer programs. We lived at this library.
Okay, and how long were you a resident of Bethel Park that you were here?
Well, my husband grew up here, graduated from the high school, but when we first got married, I moved here. I came from the east side of Pittsburgh.
Okay, so tell me why the library was an important part of your kids growing up. Where to start?
I can't even begin to tell you why it was an important part of my kids growing up. Because the book babies, it brought them into the library, brought them the love of books and reading, brought them to all the games, the DVDs, everything. I mean, we lived here. This was something we did every week.
Okay.
And did several times a week.
Several times a week you were here?
Oh, yeah.
And do you think it added to the education
Oh,
of your
most
children?
certainly. My children, even, you know, what I used to do as well is they used to even listen to the audio tapes because I wouldn't allow TVs in their bedrooms. So for them, they would listen to the audio tapes at night when they were in their rooms, and it impart joy of reading, and it's not left them. They're still big readers, and my son still loves going to the library. In Texas, in Houston, he just volunteered at the library there during the summer, and they asked him what his experience was. And he said, well, I've been there at a library since I was a baby. You know,
How old are they now?
My son is 14, and my daughter is 15, and she'll be 16 in November.
Okay, and the love of the library itself has helped them in
Oh,
their
yes,
education.
and they loved him volunteering because, you know, he was a pro.
Okay.
He knew everything at the library.
If there was one thing that impressed you the most with Bethel Park's library, can you think of one thing that
No, I
impressed you the
can't think
most?
of one thing. I can think of many.
Okay.
The people, the people that came here, the friends that my kids made, the programs, dressing up in Halloween time and walking around and trick-or-treating here. These guys, Elaine, everyone, the staff, it's a family. This is my family. And we're here for a very short time because my family are spread all over the Pittsburgh area, but we had to stop here. We had to stop at the library, even though my kids have now abandoned me, seeing all their Bethel Park friends.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop here. I had to see my family.
Well, what is it that being an employee of the Bethel Park Public Library, what do you enjoy the most out of working here?
The patrons.
Okay.
Helping the patrons, the staff is wonderful, but the people that come in, and when we're helping people learn something, we learn it too, because we
Right.
don't know it. We don't, you know, we can help you find the information. We don't. And so we learn. Every day we learn something new.
Okay.
So that's,
So every day your job is a little different?
you
and
never
enjoy
know.
every day with
yeah.
it?
Well, you never know what you're going to get, but usually it's a really happy place to be.
Some of your favorite things with Bethel Park Library?
Oh, geez, there's so many. I just love all the resources we have, and honestly, I love our talented staff. I've worked
Okay.
at probably 5 or 6 libraries. This is the most talented staff.
Excellent.
Very knowledgeable, yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your time.
Sure, thanks.
Okay, and how long have you been with the library?
I've been here 5 years now.
5 years, marvelous.
Yes.
And what do you think of Bethel Park's library?
I love Bethel Park's library. I'm a resident of Bethel Park, son that's graduated from Bethel, a daughter in Bethel, and I feel like we provide a lot for the community here, and it's an important, valuable part of our community.
Wow. Thank you for watching today's show. I learned an awful lot about the Bethel Park Public Library that I didn't even know. So hopefully you learned something too. So we appreciate you watching Around Town on BPTV. I'm your host, Andy Amrine. Thank you. Our library, and I'll say our library
Yes.
as you know, because it belongs to the residents of Bethel
Absolutely.
Park. So our library, I understand we just got an award.
We did get an award.
Can you tell us about this?
Sure. We are now named a PA Forward Bronze Star Library. We were one of the first in Allegheny County. The PA Forward initiative is a way for all libraries in the state to let people know that we are ideally positioned to be like a community center for information and technology and social experiences. So to get the Bronze Star, we had to complete 8 actions related to the 5 types of literacy: basic, health, financial, civic, and information. So which we do every day. We're fortunate. We have a large staff, so we're able to provide classes every day that support those 5 basic literacies.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
a big It's a big award.
It is. It's
You
wonderful.
should be bragging about it. You deserve it.